Good morning, students. Good morning to all. It's a time to study the economics. Okay, yesterday already we have started and studied some of the portion in first lesson. The first lesson is Introduction to Microeconomics. So before that, we have understood the meaning of economics. Economics mean the management of household because this word economics was came from ancient Greek word oikonomikos. So the oikono means household, the nomios means management. So we called the economics the economics means management of household, right? And next we have studied the meaning of microeconomics. Have you remember what's the meaning of microeconomics? So microeconomics is the study of the economic actions of individual units. So the name of the individual units may be say the household, firms and industries, the single industries. And it studies how business firms operates under different market conditions, right? Different market conditions mean so the monopoly market, perfect market conditions, imperfect market conditions. Okay, so such as all the market conditions, how the firms operates will be studied by economics. Okay, and how the combined action of buyers and sellers determine the prices. Okay, I remember that also. So normally market will be determined or the prices will be determined by the demand and supply, the two market forces. The two market forces is called demand and supply. Okay, the demand and supply also sometimes determined by the buyers and sellers. Okay, even there is more demand, the price will be increased. That because of that, the seller will be increase the supply. But in the same time, due to higher rate for the commodities, the consumer will not consuming more. Then automatically the demand will be reduced. Okay, then price also because of that will be reduced. Okay, like that, so the price will be determined by the market force, that is demand and supply. The demand and supply also created by consumer and seller. Okay. Moreover, we have studied the nature and scope of the economics. To understand the nature and the scope of economics, so we must study about the multiplicity of definitions given by different type of economists. Okay, so in this way we have studied the four type of definitions, right? That is wealth definition. Next one is scarcity definition. Next, welfare definition. Last, growth definitions, right? So yesterday we have studied the Adam Smith wealth definitions. Okay, according to the Adam Smith, what he said, economics is the science of wealth. Economics is the science of wealth. He explained how a nation's wealth is created and increased. Okay, so the economics studied about the national income, the way of creating and increase the national income. And moreover, he is considered that the individual in the society wants to promote his own gain, and in this process he is guided and led by invisible hand. I said invisible hand mean so the market forces are the private organizations and the government policies and the private industries policies and so on. Okay, but anyway we should understand, so the society wants to promote his own gain. Own gain means every single persons are taking more effort to increase their personal economic activity and their own income in any such a way. Okay, suppose he will go into the work, he will start studying of the industries, he will have some of the handicraft talent. So in such a way, so the every persons will take some of the effort to increasing their personal economic activity or personal living standard, right? And he is favored to the divisions of labor. I said, divisions of labor mean some of the people only will have the special talent to production of the commodities. Okay, in this time, so the producer will allot some of the people, those who all have the separate talent to producing any of the particular line of product. Okay, and this is the basic system of all the mass productions or the large scale industries. And moreover, he told, so the competitions, so the severe competitions only creating the factories and the societies helpful to bettering the product and the supply of products, and the supply force also will be very activated in our economy because of the competitions. Okay, and we have studied some of the criticism also. Okay, what he has given more importance only for wealth, not only for the welfare also. Okay, so that some of the other economists, Carlis and Ruskin, is regarded their wealth definition as a dismal science. Okay students, the next definition is welfare definitions. Today we will study by the welfare definitions. Okay, today we will study the welfare definitions. The welfare definition is given by Alfred Marshall. Given by Alfred Marshall. He wrote one book in 1890s. The book name is Principles of Economics. The basic principles of economics. Till today, some of the basic principles are used in our economics from here book only. From this book only. He is defined the economics. The economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. Economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. Okay, in our ordinary life, so the mankind are the human beings. How the human beings are taking some of the effort to consuming or improving their personal economic activities, and for this those who are depending on his own purpose. In wealth definition, as Adam Smith told, so he is also giving some part of important to the wealth. Okay, so only he is also favored one of the point of Adam Smith. What? So the personal persons, every individual person in the society wants to promote his own gain. Okay, so for the purpose of improving their personal economic activity or personal living standard, every people will taking some of the effort and going to work and doing some of any other work. Okay, so not only that, if we want to consume any of the commodities, so the wants only is the starting point, or the desire to consuming the commodity only is the starting point. So by getting the desire is also one of the mankind, the character of mankind, right? So how one product is getting their complete form, complete finished form. Okay, suppose if any of the entrepreneur want to produce any of the commodities, and behind of that production idea, one of the human wants will be there. Okay, so according to the human wants only, so many number of item or the product was produced in our area and in our nations also, right? So only he is considered the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. He is going to the work. For going to the work, he needs some of the cycles, and daily he must be completed their basic necessity of life. Okay, and he needs some of the educational, hygienic, and infrastructure facilities, and etc. Okay, for the purpose of attaining this all, he needs some of the effort. He has to take in some of the effort, and he will think in different such a way. Okay, in that way, and that effort may be considered as a mankind, study of mankind. Okay, so the economics is considered as the study of mankind in our ordinary life, and this is considered the study of wealth and the study of man. Okay, one side, so this principle or this definition considered economics is the study of wealth, and another one of the important side is study of man. Okay, because if there is more human wealth only, the wealth or national wealth or other type of the wealth, other type of the resource will be created. And not only that, for whom the wealth, all the wealth will be created for the purpose of consuming the human only. Okay, so before improving the wealth, we must improve the man or human. Okay, so before taking effort to improve our national income or the economic activity, so one nations or every individual have to take more such a effort to improve the man's activity or the human beings, right? And not only that, this definition examines the part of individual and social action which is most closely connected with the attainment of material requisition of well-being. Okay, so what are the commodities or what are the factors needed to attaining the human well-beings or the well-being of the societies? Everything also will be connected with each other or interlinked with each others. Okay, okay, students. Next, some of the important features are there. Okay, when we are studying the welfare definition, some of the features are there. What are the features mean? First one of the feature is economics does not treat wealth as the be all and end all of economic activities. Okay, be all and end all economic activities mean what? So the economics does not consider the wealth. Wealth only is the beginning and last point of the human beings or the economic activities. Because and before in our earlier days or the ancient days, so without money, without some of the commodity, the all the human beings was alive, right? So after improve the industrializations and the economic activities only, so the consumes or the commodities or the production, consumption, distributions, all these economic activities was developed. Okay, so before that days, so with there was no commodities or there was no number of commodities. Okay, so that time some of the basic necessity of life only may be there. Okay, so only so the Marshall or other economists criticize the Marshall definitions. So the economics does not treat the wealth as the be all and end all economic activities. That is, it is not the wealth only is not a matter to the economic activities. Understand? Okay. Next one of the feature is the science of economics contains the concerns of ordinary people who are moved by love and not merely guided by the desire to get maximum monetary benefit. Okay, so the welfare definition. The welfare definition only concerning the people who are moved by love and not merely guided by the people directly to get the maximum monetary benefit. Okay, that means some of the people always doing some of the economic activity not for a money or earning profit. Okay, some of the people who, some of the professionals, some of the doctors, teachers, and even in our parents, our in our home also doing some of the activity, economic activity, but this economic activity will not doing for the purpose of earning profit and any of the personal gain. Okay, it is moved by the love. Okay, some of the teachers also loving the students, and the doctors student the peoples, and what, so some of the peoples will love the other peoples for doing some of the activities. In our home also the parents will love the sons. Like that, some of the economic activity will moving not only for the purpose of earning motive, it will also moving for the human beings, good human manner. And according to him, so the man only taking the more effort to promote the primary welfare and not wealth. Welfare means human welfare. For example, if you are suffering from the fever, and same time if you are going to the work, we will get some of the money. For whom or for whose we will give the more importance? For giving the importance only for protecting our health only, no? So when we are suffering by the fever, we won't go to the work for the purpose of earning money. Okay, so all the peoples, individual peoples and the societies only give the more importance to promote their welfare only, not for wealth. And another one of the future is, this definition studies people in the society who influence one another, because on the basis of economics is a social science also, it studies people in the society who influence one another. Who influence one another mean, how can we say, in this private organization, the managers or the higher authorities also will be depending upon the labors, all other factors of productions. Okay, so in the same way, all the low level worker also will be depending upon the higher authorities for the purpose of adjusting their personal income and improve their living standard, and for the protecting of their own family, right? So and in this government also, if you are considering the government sector also, the government provide more social welfare activities to the peoples. Okay, and even though there is more chance to increasing the economic activity, some of the nations or all the nations will give the beneficial activities, that is the human welfare activities. Okay, so it studies the people in the society who influence one another. Okay, okay students, next is the criticism of welfare definitions. Okay, when we are comparing the wealth definition, welfare definition is some more better, but even though these definitions also have some of the different side of criticism by other economists. Okay, so what are the criticism was there in this welfare definition means, first one is, so all other economists considered Marshall regards only material thing. Marshall regards only material things, but he does not consider immaterial things such as the service of a doctor, teacher, and so others. But they also promote people's welfare, right? So according to the Marshall, so the monetary or the material wealth only is the thing to improving the economic activity. Okay, but he does not consider the immaterial things. Immaterial things mean non-economic activity. Okay, the service of a doctor, service for the teacher, lawyer, and the policeman, and the defense, everything is also one of the economic activity. They are non-economic activity. They are providing some of the services to the people directly and indirectly. Okay, but this is also promote the people's welfare. Even these things is not able to increase in the economic activity, these all things will have the power to satisfying the human welfare. Okay, so the immaterial services, because the second criticism is Marshall ignores the immaterial things. He does not consider the immaterial things as a human social welfare. And the next one is Marshall ignores the amount of money for the immaterial services. Okay, so Marshall ignores the amount of money that goes as reward for the services of immaterial services. Immaterial services mean in our home daily our mothers are doing so much of work for our own purposes. From the early morning to at last night, she is doing many work, cooking and cleaning the home and some of the many works. Okay, so we can't count it. Okay, but the people's not giving the reward as a wages for his services. Okay, and not only that, what can we say? Some of the other persons also doing or providing some of the services for the low benefit. Low benefit means the low wages. Okay, but really if you are calculating the amount for their service, it may be very low. Okay, but even though we are not considering the amount for the immaterial services, so we can say the doctors also. Okay, some of the doctors also providing their service as a free to the peoples. Okay, but some of the free services and some of the patients also providing so many funds for the other caste and other poor people and other even of the trust. Okay, but this is also will be improve the economic activity, one personal economic activity or the social economic activity. Okay, but it is not considered as a human wealth. Okay, next one of the criticism for the welfare definition is concept of welfare is not cleared, because Marshall definition is based on the concept of welfare, right? But it is not clearly defined, because welfare is varies from person to person, countries to countries, and one of the person's character to character, and the based on the political situations the welfare will be differ, right? Okay, in some nations some peoples will giving more importance to what comfortable goods or luxury goods, but some of the nations will providing more importance to producing the or consuming the basic necessity of life. Sometimes the people will spend more money to enjoying their life. Okay, but some of the peoples will providing more importance to saving their account. Okay, so the welfare always will be varied from such a factors. And Marshall clearly distinguished between those things are capable for promoting welfare and those goods are not doing it. Okay, because some of the nations the consuming alcohol is permission or allowed, but in some other nations so the consuming of the alcohol is not allowed. Okay, so when we are consuming this type of the commodities will be affected the human people and it will be affected the human welfare also. Okay, but in the way of providing the permission to consume that commodities, so that people will not be hesitate to consume that commodities. Okay, so he is not cleared, or suppose he is very cleared the distinguish between the promoting goods and some of the not promoting goods, promoting the health for the human welfare, and some of the goods which has not promoting the human welfare. And the last criticism of the welfare definition is the welfare means happiness or comfortable living condition of an individual or a group of peoples. Okay, as I told in the last point, so some of the peoples in some nations will think the welfare is having the more stock of capital. Okay, and in another nation some particular peoples or all the peoples may think the welfare is being happiness and comfortable living conditions. Okay, so when there is some of the variations, we can't predict the clear definitions of the welfare. Okay, suppose in our area also, in our nations also, the two different type of the people will be there. Okay, some of the people having the motive of enjoying their life even if they have the education and their good conditions. Okay, but some of the people only have the ambition to increasing their income level and the stock of capital. Okay, even though if they earning more money, they won't get some of the satisfactions. Again and again the peoples want to earning more income. Okay, but in other side of the peoples, even if they have the little amount of money, because of that they will be enjoying more and more. And not only that, even these two factors are available in all the nations. The political conditions has to be very clear and truth. Okay, but in here some of the nations not having the good politicians, cultural activities, and the political and social activities. Okay, so the wealth of nations not only depending upon the stock of capital but also other concept means social and cultural and political concept. Okay, but it was not happened, still it is not happening some of the nations. Okay, so the wealth of nation or the welfare of the peoples will be depending upon their mankind, but other side it will be depending upon the other concept. Okay, but the Marshall failed to differentiate these two concept. Okay, understand? Okay students, if you have any doubt just ask me. So today we have studied the another one of the definition. So the welfare definition is given by the Alfred Marshall. Okay, he wrote one of the book. What book name? So don't forget the book name. So the principles of economics. Okay, principles of economics. according to his the economy is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. Within our ordinary life, so the individual and the society of group of people, what they will do for their personal activities or what they will do for improve their personal economic activities. Okay, and this is considered as the study of wealth, and another one of the side is study of man. Okay, because so many of the peoples want to become a good health than their income level. And not only that, so the all the consumed commodity or all the wealth is created only for the purpose of consuming the commodity, right? So this definition is considered as a study of wealth, and another one of the important study side is study of man. Okay, because the study of man only will helpful to study of wealth. Okay student, today I think it's enough, because next definition is some more time. This is also will take just after 1 hour or after half an hour. Okay, so tomorrow we will see the next definition. Okay, thanks.